Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here back with more of our F1 2021 Williams Road to Glory. Yes, round 20 of Season 2 of this series. Of course, a bit like the My Team video that went live yesterday. If you missed out that one, go back and check it out. It's been a little while since we dived into the Williams RTG. Of course, the last race from Mexico must have been good because I can still remember what happened, and that was pretty much, yeah, it was a week ago now at the time of recording. So yeah, if you missed out on that one, go back and check it out. A very, very exciting race from the Mexican Grand Prix. Of course, at the moment though, we've got a big push to try and get all of our upgrades sorted, ready for Season 3, of course. We've still got 5 parts at risk on the engine side of things, and obviously the durability I'm not really going to worry about. That'll just be an afterthought later on in the campaign. But yeah, 4 races to go actually, if you include today's event. Max Verstappen could be world champion today. All he needs to do, I mean, he's got, what, a 58-point lead over Valtteri Bottas, so he'd need to outscore Valtteri by 20 points this weekend, which, to be honest, based on Mercedes' form in recent races, probably isn't that impossible to happen there. In terms for us, though, our main battle is still with Charles Leclerc, just 1 point between us as we head in towards the final couple of races of the campaign there. AlphaTauri have massively pulled away, though, in the Constructors' Championship, so we might have to settle for 6th at the end of the season, but fingers crossed this weekend, back in Brazil. It was a very good race last season here, I remember, in the Williams RTG. Let's get into it. Formula 1 is finally back in 2022, and now you can rep your favourite teams. Of course, using the F1 store, every team now has merch lineups available, whether you're an Aston Martin fan, a Williams fan, Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull. The choice is completely up to you. But yeah, check out the F1 merch store down below for all the official releases from all of the teams. And of course, as always, if you use our links as well, you massively help support the channel. So yeah, give it a look and see if there's anything you like. Right, well here we are then, qualifying day from the beautiful Sao Paulo circuit here in Interlagos. Fingers crossed we can have a good run of form this weekend. Qualifying has not been our strong point over recent races, but of course as well, if you're not already, please do get yourself subscribed to the channel. We're now trying to aim for 50k before F1 2022 arrives on the 1st of July. Of course, this is going to be a hub for Formula 1 news content as well. Of course, F1 Manager as well. Another game I'm really excited for that to launch when we get a confirmed release date as well. They're busy times ahead here on the Matt212 channel, but really looking forward to jumping into all of it. You know, at the moment, this, I want to say, is just the beginning. But yeah, 50k before F1 2022 launches, so if you could help me get one step closer, it would be greatly appreciated. But ooh, a bit of a lock-up there as we head out in towards turn 6. Not the best run in the world, but this is probably just going to be our banker lap. Well, hopefully we're going to get an interesting representative there, work out how much pace we need to try and find. Pierre Gasly set a 1:06 flat as we head out of the final corner. Shortest run back up towards the line. A few mistakes there, so a 1:07 flat, half second away from George. We could definitely find some time. Well, we've actually just had a warning light come up on the engine as well there, so not too sure what that is. That is going to be the ICE. Should make it through this weekend, but we might have to take some penalties before the next race out in, I think it's Albert Park. Been a while since we raced there in a career mode event here on F1 2021. But yeah, second lap then here in qualifying. At the moment we're actually down in P17, so not quite where we wanted to be. Let's try and chase some time, at least try and find a couple of tenths and smooth out any errors. Right, final corner then here of our second qualifying run, and we are going to find about half a second then by the looks of it, so we should be pretty much tied with our teammate George Russell here as we head up towards the finish line. Where is it actually going to put us though currently on the grid? Puts us 11th there, so yeah, just ahead of George Russell, and actually both Alpines between us. Wouldn't mind starting in 11th, but we're going to have to do one more run and see how much more pace we can try and get out of the car. Maybe a low 6 is possible. We're still eyeing up Charles Leclerc in the title. Right, we'll get him ready then. Final lap here of qualifying from the Brazilian Grand Prix. And of course, the lap all the way starts down at Jungsao. Such a long run up, though, to the flag, but every mile an hour helps. So we're going to take the longest run up, the smoothest line out of the final corner, and also gives us the shortest run back down towards turn 1 here, braking just at the 50-meter ball. They really want to try and attack the curbs through the first part of the Center S, maybe just a bit too much that time around there as we drop about a 10th through the first corners. Out of the Center S we go, though, as we head down the Esquina de Lago in towards turn 4, braking just after the 100 board once again there. Oh, running a little bit wide over the curbing. That was Max Verstappen's defensive line on Hamilton during last year's Grand Prix. Back up the hill we go, 6th gear. Try and keep it tipped in and then brake nice and early through this next part there. We've been missing that apex too much this qualifying session as we try and head through the middle sector. Really trying to put the power down, chase back some time that I lost early on in the lap. Come on, we can do this. Nice and easy. So we head down in towards the corner before Jung Sao, and then one final good run there. All ran a little bit wide, snagged the brakes, but we are going to find a little bit of time as we head up towards the checkered flag there. George Russell set a 106.3, so pretty much going to be on par then with our teammate here. I think we're going to slot in just behind him, P13 at the end of qualifying. I'll take that, to be honest. I think everyone is very, very quick round here. Well, there we go then. Red Bull front row lockout here for the Brazilian Grand Prix ahead of Bottas, and then both Ferraris getting the jump on Lewis Hamilton as well. They're both McLaren 7th and 8th. And then Gasly and Tsunoda rounding out the top 10 there. But yeah, we were just half a tenth away from George Russell at the end of the session. Had we got the lap nailed, I think we could have been probably in 10th place there. So to be honest, P13 will start on the fresh rubber. Probably going to try and do a soft-medium strategy as well here today. Let's see what we can muster up then here in Brazil. This channel is proudly sponsored by Bybit, the official crypto partner of Red Bull's Formula 1 team. I've been using their platform for my personal crypto savings over the last few months, and when they got in touch to support the channel, I was super, super excited. Currently, they're offering you guys a special new promo for the first 100 of you to deposit $10 or more onto the platform. You'll get another $10 free. Also, 5 lucky winners will get their initial deposit doubled up to $1,000. That means if you deposited $1,000 onto the platform using my codes below, you could be within a chance to get another $1,000 completely free. We've seen the landscape around crypto drastically change over the last couple of years, and I genuinely believe it holds an important place in our future. However, please be careful as always when trading, as you are liable to lose money. But if you're interested and you're 18 or older, click the link down below to get started and see why Red Bull and myself, as well as thousands of others, trust Bybit as their crypto.
Welcome along then to the place where heroes and history are made. It's where the 2008 title was decided in the final corner. And it's the place, a year later, that Jenson Button stormed through from 14th on the grid to claim his one and only Drivers' Championship. It's Interlagos, and it's time for the Brazilian Grand Prix. It's an unusual anti-clockwise race here at Interlagos, where the Sao Paulo locals have packed into the grandstands at each of the 15 corners around this classic 2.7-mile circuit. 2 very fast sections bookend the famous and highly technical Sector 2, where getting a good run out of Jun Sao into one of the 2 DRS zones will be the key to any overtaking prospects today. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Bottas, Sainz, Lewis Hamilton and Ricciardo, Gasly, Tsunoda, Ocon and George Russell, Mr. Monaco, Vettel, Charles Leclerc, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Stroll, Nicholas Latifi and Nikita Mazepin. Mick Schumacher, they've taken a grid penalty, and Lando Norris starts from the back of the grid. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
Right, well here we are then, on the grid, ready for round 20 of the year here from Brazil. And even better for us, Charles Leclerc and Lando Norris with some grid penalties, hopefully, is going to bolster us up the order just a little bit then. So we're going to start P6 for this one today. Like I said at the end of qualifying there, we're going to try and do a soft-medium strategy today, really try and leapfrog our way up inside the top 10. I'm going to be aggressive with the fuel saving as well. We're going to go 2 laps under. Just trying to push the envelope a little bit more with this Williams. But yeah, starting in P11 then. Fingers crossed George and I can try and get a double points finish for the team. 4 races to go of Season 2 here. We need to try and finish out the season strong. Like I said, we've got Charles Leclerc, our big title rival, starting behind us as well. Let's get into it then. Here in Brazil, I love coming back to Interlagos on the F1 games. It's going to be 5 red lights. And it is going to be lights out, and away we go. And Esteban Ocon really not going anywhere as we head down towards turn 1.
Be aware that we will start to see a loss of power.
Unfortunately for me, George Russell almost, well, he did brake earlier than I was expecting him to through turn 1. We do get away with it though, of course, sim damage in the Williams RTG, so definitely want to avoid a collision at all costs. We found that out the hard way at Kota a couple of weekends ago, where I just nicked the back of Sebastian Vettel, and unfortunately that pretty much put pay to our weekend there. So losing places off the start then, after actually probably one of my better getaways of a grid there. Even managed to get a run on Esteban Ocon, but up the inside of Stroll will go. Certainly not going to sit around and dawdle today. Got to take big risks late on in the campaign here. I'm around the outside of Sir Lance we go. Oh, thought about it. Thought about it so much there on Charles Leclerc. He's following the man he replaced at Ferrari in Kimi Räikkönen. It's been really cool to see Kimi in this career mode still. Of course, took that win way back at the Spanish Grand Prix there. But end of lap 1, it's still a Red Bull 1-2. Looks like unless Verstappen's jumped Perez, which he hasn't. Looks like top 6, top 7, pretty much all stayed the same of the grid here. But are we going to be able to get a run on Charles Leclerc? Up inside we go. Thanks, Charles. The hand of rage comes up there because I clearly sent it on him, but Charles Leclerc wanted to turn in. Team happy with that though, so the FIA must be as well. And we're back up to P13 then, so a decent little recovery after a dramatic start here. Must admit, so happy with the way we take the developments of this car over the course of Season 2. You know, we've learned so much from doing, well over 100 races now in the My Team series, that it meant we've been able to try and get this Williams into fighting form a whole lot quicker than I was able to with the My Team car.
We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
DRS has now been enabled though here in Interlagos, and hopefully we're going to be able to get a run on Kimi Räikkönen sooner rather than later. Got to be careful though with the ERS. We're getting through a lot of it very early. That's one thing. The My Team car's still much better than this thing in. Right, come on then, Kimi Räikkönen. Let's see what you got as we head out of the final corner then. Honda Power versus Mercedes Power, as Bottas sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. So one Finn going fastest, the other hopefully about to lose a position as we head back down towards turn 1.
What we have left. Start using the car's drag to slow you down ahead of the braking line by just lifting off the throttle briefly before you start to actively brake.
Jeff, I know what to do, Jeff, please. But yeah, Kimi Räikkönen there, getting very feisty in the braking zone. Don't often see the Finn get his elbows out like that. Got to back out through turn 2, but we both live to fight another day. One corner we definitely seem to be able to get a much better line through than Kimi. Is that, what, penultimate, third last corner, technically the one before Jungsao. I don't know how many of these up towards the checkered flag count as corners here, but even closer to the Finn this time around. He's not got the full effect of the DRS from our teammate George Russell. Side by side back down towards turn 1. That AlphaTauri is still very quick right at the top end there, but this time round we'll slam the door just like Kimi did a lap ago, and we will only just hang on to the DRS of George as well. All over the back now of George Russell. We're only on lap 6 of this Grand Prix, but George aware of us, just going a little bit defensive down the back straight. Got to be careful of taking way too much curb through there. But yeah, have got to be super careful as well about the tyre wear around here. You know, we're trying to go for that aggressive strategy, but tyre temperatures as well. Interlagos is one of the only tracks that I still really struggle with it on F1 2021. So just got to keep that in mind. We're pushing and we're really in the groove with the car, but we have got to be careful as we're going to try and ride on board then, see if we can stay close with George in towards the final few corners of the lap. I kind of go wide in and then really attack the curbing through the second part there, and that allows me to really stick close to the AI. What doesn't allow me to stick really close to the AI is taking way too much curb out of Jungsao. But let's just wait and see then. Going to use a bit more battery this time around to try and launch us towards the back of our teammate. And are we going to be able to get a run back in towards turn 1? Or we thought about it, but George Russell just about going to be able to hang on for now as we take a lot of curb through turn 2. Might still be able to apply some pressure as we head down the Esquina del Lago here. George Russell's going to go defensive. Or we just about find room around the outside. Pretty even on the brakes. Are we going to be able to make the move work? George Russell, this is great battling with our teammate early on in this race. Should be able to get the drive, though, up the hill. But George Russell not wanting to give up, but has to in the end. Up to P11 then, so back where we started. Looks like Seb was the big winner in all of this early on. But TSUNODA causing a bit of a train in 8th there, as Gasly, as always, doing incredible work, hanging on to the trainer cars in front.
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
Team recommending going on to hard to lap earlier.
Understood.
Has been a good reminder, though. Need to try and make sure we tell them we're pitting onto mediums. Probably going to box in end of 16, I want to say. 15 or 16 will be the goal. Because we're now closing up to the back of Ocon. But that Alpine is going to be a difficult car to navigate.
We're accumulating some wear on the MG UK. To manage this, we'll need to lower our ERS deployment mode.
Shows how quick those Alpines are down the straights at the moment. Neither myself or Sebastian Vettel can really get a run on either of them. I mean, Yuki doesn't even have the DRS at the moment. That Alpine, it's the same as real life. It's got so much power and torque right at the top end. You know, if you're battling in a traction zone, you can often get a pretty good run on them. But high speed, which is really the only places you can make moves around here.
Our battery charge speed is suffering, and if it gets much worse, we could be forced to retire.
Oh no, that's not good. MG UK, where is that at? I think it was 56. So I clicked the button too many times. 55 on the MG UK then. So shouldn't be anything to worry about just yet. Jeff, as always, just being melodramatic in this GP. But are we now going to be able to get a run on Esteban Ocon here as we head up towards the start-finish line? Oh, again, the AI just like to move back over to the right-hand side in towards the braking zone. And Ocon, we have the car there, but he was never going to give me any room, so we have to just skip over the curbing a little bit. But we do hang on for now, as George Russell still just waiting in the wings, as Kimi Raikkonen getting himself back closer to this group. Now we get a run on Esteban Ocon out of the final corner. Let's wait and see. So we just try and stick within about 3/10 of him by the time we get to the DRS zone. There we go. Quarter of a second, that gap is coming down. That Alpine is getting bigger and bigger just in front of us as we head back down towards turn 1. The AI moved right, so we'll move left and make the move finally work now on Esteban Ocon. There again, just having to second guess ourselves a bit through turn 1, but if Seb can't get a run on Yuki,
that's P10, we're into the points.
We can definitely try and make more progress here as we now cross over 1/3's distance in this Grand Prix. This has been a brilliant race so far, as we've already got a McLaren into the box. That must be Lando. Right, come on then, Sebastian Vettel. We've stuck even closer to the back of the Aston Martin as we head out of the final corner here. Haven't seen anyone else into the pits yet, but you can see how desperate Seb is to try and defend the inside there. We're both gaining on Yuki Tsunoda. Oh, Seb almost into the back of Yuki there through turn 1, but we will make the move work. And now a bit of P9 then of the Grand Prix, so slowly but surely picking up these places. Can we now get the run on TSUNODA as well as we head down the back straight? Again, the AI just tried to move around a little bit there. Can we then get the run on Yuki down the hill? Yuki Tsunoda, come on, all the time. You have to lever the space in a Formula 1 Grand Prix there, and I think, despite that, I think it was just wheel-to-wheel contact, so I don't think we picked up any damage. Definitely have overheated the tyres in that moment, but TSUNODA could not get the power down off the corner, and we went to the inside, and TSUNODA was having absolutely none of it. There we go, cars into the pits then at the end of that lap as well.
George in the pits. George in the pits.
So we are going to be straight back up then to P10 of the Grand Prix, but just trying to work out whether we have picked up a little bit of wing damage.
You've taken some minor damage. Trying not to push the tyres too hard, you're probably losing some grip at this point.
Yes, we definitely have picked up front wing damage then, so I think we're going to have to box the end of this one. Don't really want to change the strategy around too much, though. Would rather pit onto mediums than the hards, especially now as we're going to lose time with a front wing change. Oh, that's heartbreaking. That is heartbreaking this early on to the GP, but a long old way to go still. We head out of the final corner. They're going to have to box in at the end of this lap there. So we've still got a Red Bull and a Mercedes that haven't pit yet in the Grand Prix. Going to be super aggressive on the way into the lane. Only just get the car slowed down here. But yeah, this is going to put us a long way behind this whole chunk of cars there, as the team were expecting us to pit at the end of this lap. So we're going to try and save one lap of extra tyre wear, if you will. But yeah, new front wing going on the car as well. It always amazes me just how little of a knock it takes for the sim damage in this career mode. As an 8-second flat stop isn't too shabby either. I apologise there, my PlayStation 5 decided it would try to turn on and ruin the recording, but we are going to head back out of the pit lane then here in Brazil, and still going to be ahead of Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc.
But officials aren't looking to push for a safety car right now, just be careful.
I'm guessing they're referring to the incident between myself and Yuki. Right, end of lap 15 then. Going to see the last few cars into the pit lane, so we're going to be about 7 seconds away from the back of the trainer cars we were battling with. I think a few of them are yet to box still, but Sebastian Vettel has as well done the same strategy I have. It's often Aston Martin that are the ones to risk it around this venue, but yeah, want to try and still fight for points by the end of this. Still ahead of Charles Leclerc though. I think him and Lando both had a nightmare race up to now.
The gap to the car behind is 1.9 seconds.
But yeah, if we score points here, we'll jump Charles Leclerc in the championship. There we go, Antonio Giovinazzi and Lance Stroll into the box as well. So we are hopefully, I mean, we should be ahead of Stroll. Ahead of Giovinazzi even, and Stroll, yeah, isn't going to be too far away either. Always love the fact Aston Martin always seem to be the team going for the aggressive strategies as well. But yeah, going to be about, what, 3 seconds behind Lance here? Pretty much 3 seconds behind Lance. We can definitely start picking these cars off to try and get in the points.
Is 2.8 seconds.
There we go. Mazepin as well. He's done pretty well, actually, to go almost half a Grand Prix on that set of tyres. So fills me with confidence that these mediums should see it through to the checkered flag. But Stroll, we're not taking much time out of the Canadians so far. We are still taking fair chunks out of Kimi, though. There we go, new personal best for the day as well. Now the gap to Stroll is starting to come down a little bit more. I guess the race now is to try and get to him before he can get to Kimi. Right, are we going to see Lance Stroll get a run then on Kimi Räikkönen as we head up towards the start-finish line? Seems like the AI don't deploy anywhere near enough of their battery when trying to attack back down towards Turn 1. We often see the battles really head down the Assetto del Lago, but Stroll should be able to get pretty decent pickup on the back of Kimi Räikkönen as well. There's we're now going to get the DRS. Here comes Lance Stroll on Kimi Räikkönen. Then to the inside he goes. Kimi, though, look at that. The Finn still aggressive with all his possible defence there. Sebastian Vettel's gone round as well. What else happened to Seb then in this Grand Prix? So Sebastian Vettel then riding on board as we head down in towards the next corner. And Sebastian Vettel just loops it round by himself. Well, I would say it's an uncharacteristic mistake, but it's sadly become a little bit more common for Seb in recent years. Of course, that means Sebastian Vettel drops way down the order, and we're now up at a P13 again then of the GP, but it kind of distracted us from this brilliant little battle that was shaping up between Kimi, Lance and myself. Probably one of the weirdest battles you'll ever see in Formula 1, but, you know, that's what F1 2021... Come on then, Lance Stroll. Let's see if we can get a run on Kimi Räikkönen as we head up towards the start-finish line here. Look at this here. The AI just don't use anywhere near enough of their battery late on in the lap. So we're going to say thank you very much. Up the inside of Sir Lance we go. And the first man to actually spot us making a move and not turn in on me as we head back down towards Turn 1.
Fortunately, the marshals have managed to clear it up in time, and there are no plans for a safety car right now.
Did Seb make contact then with someone as he tried to rejoin the circuit? As we go up the inside of Kimi Räikkönen as well there. So up 2 spots in one go. Looks like we've got Alpines battling up the road. Fingers crossed TSUNODA doesn't do to his teammate what he did to me earlier on in this race. But it's all kind of falling back into place for us with 15 laps to go. I think P8 is probably all we're going to be able to muster up from this one. But yeah, if we can get back there, I'd be pretty happy. Oh, here we go. Esteban Ocon, Yuki Tsunoda back down towards Turn 1 again then. Who is going to come out on top this time around as they head through the Senna S. Yuki Tsunoda, one of F1's most fearless defenders. And it looks like he has hung on for now, but surely Ocon's going to be able to get the run down the Assetto del Lago here. Is Tsunoda going to be able to hang on at the inside? No, he is not. So Esteban Ocon might be our big rival late on in the afternoon here, just because he's on also a set of the medium compound tyres. But we've got to try and balance the tyre life out as well. As Kimi Räikkönen still hanging on ahead of Sir Lance. Right, come on then. Crossing over 2/3 distance here in Brazil, and now we're all over the back of our teammate George Russell. We've got slightly fresher, slightly quicker tyres than our teammate, but he's still trying to apply some pressure to TSUNODA as we head back down towards turn 1. Could we see both Williams try and jump Yuki in one swoop? Got to try and get a good run out of turn 1 there. Has TSUNODA still got the DRS actually of Esteban Ocon? Doesn't look like he has, as George Russell now going to try and go defensive on me. Like I said, we should have slightly more grip though in the car as we just try and hang it out there. It's going to be deja vu actually with our teammate George Russell. Oh, he moves this way and that though to defend the position there. We were all over the gearbox of our teammate. That got a little bit close for comfort. But George Russell, defending hard but defending fair. We'll have to go for it again next time. Still trying to capitalise then with the little bit of extra grip we have at this late stage of the afternoon. Activating the DRS once more on George Russell here, as this time around he's going to go defensive back down towards turn 1. Team want me to box into the end of this lap there as we go way too deep through turn 1 there. George Russell will just about hang on to the position again there, but we force him offline, and really at the moment we both need to be working to close up the gap to TSUNODA, as this time around we muscle our way to the inside of our teammate there. So close to contact with George Russell, but we do finally make the move work with just 10.5 laps to go. TSUNODA now though has built up a little bit of a gap, so we need to try and bring George Russell closer once more to Yuki. Right, come on then, Yuki Tsunoda. Let's see if we can try and make amends for the first time we battled with the young Japanese driver in this race. Gaining on the Alpine as we head back down towards turn 1. TSUNODA's going to go defensive.
The grip levels to start falling away soon.
Where does TSUNODA find that sort of confidence under braking, but still just to be able to get a run out through the Senna S though? This time around we might be able to have a look towards the inside of TSUNODA. He's going to give me a big old squeeze, but again, just like with George Russell, we hold firm.
1.6 seconds.
I will quite happily slam the door there with absolutely no remorse on Yuki Tsunoda after he turned on me earlier on in the day. Hopefully let George Russell just get a little bit closer as well. And now we need to break out of the DRS, try and close up to Ocon. So hopefully we can get a double point haul for Williams. About to start lap 30 then of this GP, and at the moment we are taking a little bit of time out of Esteban Ocon each lap, but it's not a lot. This could actually get really close late on in the day here, as I'm still just monitoring the gap between George Russell and TSUNODA. I desperately want George to make the move.
3.2 seconds.
3.2 seconds there, as this gap's going to be down to 0.3 when they head through turn 1. I think you've got to be within sort of 2-3 to make the move work, and George Russell just can't quite get close enough yet. Both Williams trying to hunt both Alpines. There we go. First time then in this Grand Prix. We're going to get some DRS on Esteban Ocon in this late race battle. Should give us a little bit of a chance as well to save some battery. Hopefully gain some free time over him, as yet George just can't seem to do anything against TSUNODA right now. Right, come on then. 4 laps to go. Gaining into the back of the Frenchman. And how fitting is it? The car we almost went into the back of on lap 1, we're going to be battling with late on in the afternoon. I thought I'd get close to Esteban Ocon's gearbox again in this GP, but trying to drain the battery as we head back down towards turn 1 there. And again, the AI just moving around a little bit in the braking zone there. Just don't want to commit to a move and risk losing a front wing late on in the day. Yuki Tsunoda's still losing time lap after lap at the moment, but George Russell can't seem to do anything, and despite trying to psych Ocon out by going uber aggressive down in towards turn 4, the Alpine having none of it. We were never really planning on going for a move, and Ocon, well, apparently was confident we wouldn't either. Right, about to start lap 34 then, just a little bit closer to Esteban Ocon this time around. Of course, he's going to have no DRS to defend himself with, so fingers crossed this should be a nice textbook move as we head up towards the start-finish line. Ocon going right up to the inside pit wall, but we should be clean around the outside as we get back towards turn 1. They get the car slowed down nice and tidy on the brakes, and now up at a P8 of the GP there, probably where we should be in this Grand Prix. I don't think we're ever really going to be able to do much against Pierre Gasly, who's just been mighty pretty much throughout the entirety of F1 2021 on the whole there. But yeah, back up to P8 though, ahead of the Alpines where we need to. Let's just try and bring this thing home. Around in the final corner then, about to start the final lap here from Brazil. And what a race this one has turned out to be. It's been a race of redemption, to be honest. Of course, almost spinned it at turn 1.
Final lap of the race.
Went from, what was it, about 11th down to 15th. Recovered all the way up to 8th. Then got taken out and pretty much dropped back down to about 15th in this Grand Prix there. And then spent the rest of the afternoon trying to pick up places as well. A slightly better strategy than a lot of the cars around us. But, you know, the likes of Esteban Ocon and, of course, the Aston Martins as well as Ricciardo have done the same thing there. Max Verstappen, though, again, further extends his lead in the championship, I think. You know, I'm not a betting man, but unless something goes catastrophically wrong, that is going to be wrapped up next time round in Albert Park there, unless Mercedes can finally do anything against it. Sergio Perez P2, I want to say Bottas is going to round out the podium there ahead of Hamilton, and what's happened to Lewis?
Fuel now. The tank is empty.
Late on in the game. It is going to be, I think, Sainz in 5th, Ricciardo 6th, with Pierre Gasly in 7th place there. We are just about going to hang on for P8 ahead of both Alpines, though, so they get both cars into the top 10. But worn out engine, worn out tyres, but we still bring it home for 4 points.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Another superb Brazilian Grand Prix comes to an end, and it's a thoroughly deserved victory. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently. It's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be proud of the victory they secured here. Max Verstappen should be pleased with his performance, making gains at the top of the table. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
It's got to be Lando Norris, hasn't it? Smooth, confident and assured. I've got no doubt that he and his team are going to be over the moon with his performance today.
Let's move on to the constructors. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
Well, there we are then, guys, the end of the Brazilian GP there, and it is Max Verstappen who, like we said, further extends his lead in the championship ahead of Sergio Perez there. Hamilton did actually recover to P3 ahead of Valtteri Bottas, so that means the little Mercedes battle is slowly getting closer and closer there. Sainz 5th, Ricciardo 6th ahead of Gasly, myself, and both Alpines rounding out your top 10 there. You can see your rest of your finishes there. All 20 cars made it to the flag, which doesn't happen often on F1 2021 there. But Lando and Charles having an absolute disaster. 14th and 15th there after that grid penalties. Just could not make progress in the running order today. Championship-wise, though, does mean we jump Charles Leclerc now over 100 points in this season as well, so rather happy with that one. Like we said, Max Verstappen now has a 60-point lead, so Bottas needs to outscore him by 8 next weekend, which is possible, but unlikely, based on Max Verstappen's form in recent races there. We are the only driver to move positions, though, jumping Charles Leclerc. Constructors-wise, 5 points in it now between Red Bull and Mercedes late on in the game. Are Red Bull going to be able to pull out this one right at the dying moments there? McLaren and Ferrari, they're still very close, battling out for P3 as well there. And yeah, I think we're going to need a miracle if we want to jump AlphaTauri there. But Alpine and Aston Martin, only 11 points between them, and then Alfa Romeo and Haas still on the battle for countback as well there. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed as well, and yeah, we'll be back very, very soon with more of the Williams Road to Glory. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and yeah, thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.